Okay. Good morning, guys. So thanks for hopping on this morning. I know it's a Saturday of a long weekend, but we really wanted to take the time to chat with Mackenzie because she, for anyone who doesn't know, literally just hit diamond this Thursday after coaching for 2 weeks. So I wanted you all to know, like, this is totally possible, because I know it sometimes seems like diamond is like way down the road, but it can happen as a brand new coach. So we're kind of just going to put her in the hot seat and ask her questions. So feel free to start thinking of questions. But to get started, Mackenzie, do you want to just share like quick little, like, how has your journey been so far? When did you get started? Why did you get started? So yeah, share that with us.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm nervous and just finished my workout, so I'm panting for both reasons. Yeah, so I guess I'll start. So last year was like really super stressful, as I'm sure it is for literally all of you in your own ways. I lost my job in healthcare in the summertime due to COVID because I was going back to school. And if you live in Ontario, you know you can't work at 2 healthcare facilities at once. So I had to let that job go. And then, so I ended up going back to my old retail job and working in a hospital. So I was very, very busy, stressed out, also trying to figure out myself as a nurse and trying to finish my degree throughout all of this, starting as a nurse. And I actually ended up starting my 4th year placement on the COVID-19 floor at my local hospital. So I was my other job in retail, where I was also faced with the public. So I literally had no idea. I was right in the middle of everything. So big stress there, worried about bringing it home to my boyfriend, my mom, my sister, and everything. And then obviously lost that job because of lockdown again in December. So I was really stressed out, and I thought, you know, like, I'm super unhappy with myself. I'm uncomfortable. I'm self-conscious. I can't wear clothes. Like, I love hoodies, don't get me wrong, but a lot of, like, I used to love hoodies strictly because of, like, I couldn't wear tight clothing. Like, I just couldn't do it. And I just felt like this was no way to live. I was miserable. Like, my attitude was so poor, and that was starting to really carry into like my personal life and my professional life and everything. So Kenzie, as some of you may know, Mackenzie McDonald, she's actually my boyfriend's little sister. So I've been with him for 7 years. So we are obviously best friends. So she got into it, and she came in and she's like, yo, like, you gotta check this out. Like, I'm starting this program, and like, I think it's really fun. So I ended up messaging Amber that night, and I was like sitting there. Me and Kenzie were sitting in her living room, like waiting for Amber to text us back like this, because I was like, I want to start tomorrow, because I'm the kind of person, like, this is why I've kind of taken on this coaching thing so fast, is because, like, if I'm the kind of person that, like, if I start something, like, I want to go, like, start tomorrow. Like, I want to start the next day, and I want to go like 100% full throttle. So I was like ready to go. But at the same time, like, I didn't think I could do it. Like, I thought I was going to quit halfway through. Like, I said to Nick, I was like, I'm going to pay for this and hope to God that I make it worth my time, because in the past, like, I would have quit like halfway in, like, I would have been done. But I ended up actually finishing 9-week Control Freak, which was a huge, huge thing for me. I literally almost cried on the last time, that, like, when Autumn was like doing all her big celebration and everything. Not only because, like, it was an emotional time, like, when she was speaking, but like the self pride that I felt, because I actually finished something that was 9 weeks long, and that was not easy, like, mental or physical. Like, it was not easy at all, for me anyway. But yeah, so here I am, 5 months in, almost 6, coach. And I think it was almost just because, like, I've said it on my stories and everything a bunch of times, like, I don't know. I say it to my friends too, like, people who have joined me. It's like, people think this is a huge scam, and it pisses me off, because, quite frankly, am I allowed to swear on here? Okay. It pisses me off because a lot of people are like, yo, I don't want your crap. Like, get out of my inbox. And I'm like, girl, you clearly need this because you're miserable, A. B, I don't actually say that. um, But I just think like people could seriously use this. Like it makes me angry because people are like, oh, you're thriving, you're doing all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, because I put myself in this position. Like I saw an avenue and I took it because like I recognized that living the way I was not the way I wanted to live. Like being miserable and everything is like, I can't believe that was normal at one point. I thought that stress and anger and like self-frustration and self-consciousness was normal because like I was like reading my book that Amber got me the other day, and it's literally like stress has made, or the society that we live in has made stress feel so like normal. And it's almost like you get a badge for being stressed. It's like, good for you for staying so busy. Like that's normal. Good for you for being stressed out. But like, who wants to live that way? Not me, definitely not. I know all about high blood pressure. That shit kills people. So, but yeah, that's why I started. And then I think it's just been fun. I think it's really fun. Being a coach is fun. Connecting with girls is fun. And the friends that I've made is like super cool. Like Jamie, Kenzie, and I, and Brianna had a FaceTime date last night and just drank and had fun and talked. And I seriously need that in my life. So super thankful for them and for everybody who has taken their time out of their Saturdays to come and listen to me babble and embarrass myself. So
Well, thanks for sharing your story. Honestly, like I feel like a lot of us feel that way with the whole like we just had such a negative mindset, and then coaching just really transforms that. So I think we can all agree with that. But now we can just kind of put you on the hot seat. Like if anybody has any questions or anything, like feel free to shout them out. I just want to start by asking you, like, you've obviously signed up a lot of people very quickly. How did you go about, like, are they all from like your warm market? Just kind of explain how you talk to your friends in particular and how you got them started.
So in particular, my warm market was like my friend group. So those were like the first people that I really signed up. Probably the first 4 people that I had on my team were my warm market. And before I even became a coach, like I hung out with them and did everything. So I was already hyping up Beachbody to them. Like I was like, this has seriously changed me. Were already like realizing like how big of a transformation I was having. And like, we would always talk about it, like not even me being a coach. So as soon as I became a coach, I actually put like a poll on my fitness account before I became a coach. And I was like, hypothetically, like, what if I became a coach? Like, who would be interested? And a whole bunch of people like replied and whatever. So I became a coach, and they were my first ones to sign up because they already saw firsthand like what it did. So that was my first thing. And then I don't know, like some people have actually, like Michelle, for example, we were best friends in high school and everything. And then with university, we kind of separated a little bit, but like, as soon as I became a coach, like she was my first customer. Like she was the first one to reach out. But I think it's just people seeing like how much it's changed me. Like once I post, people are attracted to that. So I've gotten a few people that way. And then every day I try to go and expand my following. So I'll follow like 100 people on Instagram or something like that and try to build that audience a little bit. And I've had girls just like reach out to me and just be like, hey, like I like watching your stories. I think it's super cool what you're doing, like whatever. And I think like, I don't know if that's like a bad example, but like I don't typically send out invites. I told this to Amber the other day. I was like, I don't know if you want me on here talking because like I haven't sent a single invite since I started because that's just bad because that's what we're supposed to do. But what I've really gotten to know is like my strategy is putting energy out that I would have been attracted to 6 months ago. So putting out like my the things that normal people wouldn't really post. Like one of my first posts when I became a coach was like a boomerang of me at 8 o'clock at night with my bloated stomach, and I thought that was cool. But people want to see that. People want to see you being vulnerable and being like a genuine person. Nobody wants to know Mackenzie, the Beachbody coach. They want to know Mackenzie, the person. And I think that if people see you constantly being a robot on your stories, they're going to be like, this doesn't help me at all. She's not like me. She's not like, nothing's going to be able to help me. So my biggest stress strategy was being myself and putting out the energy that I wanted to attract, and then putting stories out. I do a lot of polls, actually. I really like polls because then that puts the the option in that person's hands. And then the only invites I've really sent is the people who respond to my polls. I'll message them and I'll be like, hey, I see you respond to my polls. Like, I'd be pumped to put you in here. Like, the girls are amazing, blah, blah, blah. Like, hype it up that way. But that's been a huge thing for me, is getting girls with polls.
Does anyone else have any questions they want to shout out or pop it in the chat? Otherwise, we can ask a few more. One thing I wanted to ask you too is about your boyfriend's account, because I know that's something I had mentioned to you. So if you want to just talk about one, how like you brought it up and maybe struggled with it in the first place, and what you kind of did to get him to be okay with signing up.
Yeah. So when I was close to hitting, like I had Michelle on my one leg, Amber reached out to me and she was like, hey, like, this is something that like the main, like you guys have done, but sign up your boyfriend. And I was like, oh my God, because Nick, like, I did not think that he would go for it at all. And I just kind of said to Amber, I was like, oh man, like, I don't know if he'll go for that. And I was like, how did you bring it up to your boyfriend? Like, give me some tips, because I feel like I'm going to need it, because I'm going to go into battle here. But so I ended up bringing it up to him. I was like, hey, hypothetically, what if I sign you up as a coach? Like, all the girls are doing it. They're like doing all this stuff. They're like making all this stuff, being successful. And I was like, what if I signed you up and like, I put you out a coach, I can control your account. Like, it would really put my business forward. Like, I can put girls under you, and like, I won't tell them it's you, don't worry. But like, you know, like, I'll just work it out the same way. He's like, absolutely not. Are you nuts? And I said, yes, but I think that it would be a good like solution for my business. I think that I could really advance with it, because this is what Amber's telling me. This is what, like, I've seen Alicia talk about her boyfriend's account and everything. Like, it's clearly working, right? So he said no to me a few times, and I kind of just like moped around for a little bit. Like, I was kind of like, oh, yeah, Diamond's so close. Like, oh, I'm just gonna have to wait a couple months. And like, just kind of like sob around a little bit. But we ended up talking about it later. But it became, the only thing that's hard is the fact that you have to use their SIN number and they have to claim it at tax time. That's the part that he didn't like. He didn't really care about the name and the coach or whatever. It was more so the fact that you have to like claim it on your taxes. And but for us, like, we figured, I just said to him, like, if there ends up being a difference at tax time, we're going to calculate your taxes first and figure out what you would have gotten. And if there's any sort of difference, if it's more, you can keep the money. If it's less, I'll just split the difference with you, or whatever. I'll just cover it. And that seemed to be like a healthy medium for us, because then I'm able to advance my business and do it that way. But he's also still getting that return at tax time that he was worried about. So it's definitely something to talk with your partner if you're planning on doing it, or your mom, or whoever you're going to sign up, because it's not like, taxes isn't a joke. Like, you know, like, it is a serious thing. But I don't know. I feel like if you compromise a little bit and like kind of explain to them like the benefit it would have, and kind of educate them more, because like, obviously boys don't really care that much about your Beachbody account. Probably, I know mine really doesn't. So I just had to like educate a little bit, and then it kind of became a little bit easier, because at first it's like asking him to do something he has no idea what's about. Like, sign your SIN number to this thing that I'm doing on the internet. Thanks. Like, that's not really interesting. But yeah, but now we're fine. And now he's waiting for his first paycheck. Taryn, you asked, how do you handle people pushing back on not wanting to provide their SIN numbers? I feel like that's the biggest pushback I'll get from my friends. Where's Taryn? Question for you too. Do you tell people, like, when they sign up, do you say like, this is included, or do you give them the option?
Honestly, yesterday I just met with Alicia to kind of go over all of the coaching stuff. So I actually haven't like officially started yet.
Okay.
I'm making my coming out post today. So it's just kind of like an information thing.
Yeah. So what I do, and like what Amber taught me to do, was like, when you go to sign them up, like, don't give them the option to sign up as a regular customer, like just tell them like, you're going to, like, this is what's included in your package. You're going to be a discount coach. It's going to say your coach. And like, I'm super transparent. Like I made a message my first day and like, I'm super transparent with all the pricing and everything. I'm like, you're going to be signed up as this. It's going to show up as this. You can cancel A, B, and C if you'd like to, but like it gets you these perks. You know what I'm like, that's what I'm saying. But so when they say, like, I've had one girl question me out of 9 question me about the SIN number. So she's like, oh, like, I don't really want to give my SIN number. What's the deal with that? And I'm just like, oh, that's just how Beachbody signs you up. Like, just put in your SIN number. It won't affect anything unless you actually do become a coach, but you're more than welcome to cancel that after. But if you just tell them like that's the way it works and you don't like kind of tiptoe around and give them the option kind of thing, they're like, oh, okay, well, it's out of her control, so I'll just do it.
Thank you.
That answers your question.
Yeah, that does. Thank you.
Any other questions from the crowd?
Okay, this is more.
Ooh, that sounded like a spaceship.
I need to come over here. Okay. This is not so much on the inviting or anything, but your story, I know I told you this before, but your stories are always so pretty and I'm not creative with that. So did you like YouTube, like how to make nice stories, or like you just kind of like try things out and you like it, or like how do you make them so nice?
To be honest with you, when Nick and I were in high school, we took photography and a whole bunch of like media stuff. So we've been into that kind of creative outlet for a while. So I've learned how to kind of make things look pretty and do ads and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like a super, like, I obsess over my stories. Like I'm super particular about what I post, and I'm a huge perfectionist. So if it doesn't look like the way that I want it to, I won't post it. But I use Canva, and then I kind of just like get creative with the drawing stuff. It's kind of an inconvenience at times because I sometimes spend like 10 minutes on one thing, but it's fun. I think it's fun. But we can always do like a little workshop about Canva. A few girls have asked me about Canva. So should do a workshop on Canva. Although I don't, a lot of the times if I'm doing like my workouts, my workout videos, I'll make it on Canva because that's the only thing I know how to insert 2 videos into, and then I'll just save it and then decorate it on Instagram. Did somebody have a question before that had the mic thing going on?
That was us, sorry.
Oh, it was, okay. I couldn't tell whose it was.
Any other questions out there?
Oh, what about, I have a question. How did you ask your like newer working coaches to start coaching with you? Like, how did you approach that as a new coach?
Yeah, so Nichelle, she was my first person to sign up, like I said, and she ended up making a fitness account because I told her about how much it motivated me to have a fitness account, like to be posting and everything. So she ended up making one, and then she posted like a story of her working out, or like a picture of her working out. And I was like, dude, like, look at you looking like a coach out here. Like she was. Like, that's what Amber was saying to me. Like, you're literally already doing it. So like I was kind of, and I know Nichelle's like, sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear the road, but because I know that she's like into that kind of stuff, and like she does sales for her job and whatever. So I honestly did think she would be like a good fit for it, but she was already doing this stuff. So I just messaged her one day and I was like, hey, like, you really do like look like a coach. Like, I think you could really do this. And I messaged one of my other girls the other day, and she posted on her fitness account. She hadn't posted for a while. She just posted like a video fast forwarded of her doing her workout and like posting her sweaty selfie on there. And I said the same thing to her, like there's things that you can be doing with this. Like, she already has her own little business. She has like a little aesthetics business here locally. And I said, like, you're already doing some stuff. Like, you already are killing it. You're only 2 weeks in. Like, I definitely think you, and she has a wicked personality. Like she's super positive. So like, obviously that's something that we need more of. And I just thought like, I think reaching out and like pumping people up a little bit is like key, because a lot of people don't think that they can do it. But if they feel like they have somebody on their side, especially somebody who's already in the business, then maybe like that would be a better connection to make.
Oh, there's a question in the chat. What's one piece of advice you would give to a brand new coach?
Honestly, be yourself. Like, don't worry about the business as much. Like, if you focus on yourself and put out that energy that you want to attract, and like just like don't fall short of who you want to be and like why you started all this, people will come to you, and that will be your biggest like success piece. Because if you start like roboting it out on your stories and just posting like constant beach body stuff, like people are going to unfollow you, and it's just going to be like a huge mess. But if you're in there like being yourself and just running your business the way that you want to, and not worrying so much about the money and everything, like you'll see success for sure. And that was the thing that I promised myself when I came in, is that I wouldn't lose myself in the process. And that's been huge.
I have another question for you. Do you want to just touch on, like, I was asking you to coach probably since you started for like months, and you kept telling me, I can't do that. There's no way, like no one's going to sign up with me. Like you had all of those like limiting beliefs. So like, could you just touch on like when you started? Because I know new coaches are often really nervous. They're like kind of tiptoeing their way in, but do you want to just kind of share how you kind of got over that fear?
I feel like I'm honestly still working through it. Like every day I'm like trying to be better, and it's scary. But right now, like when Amber asked me to coach for the first time, I was like, this lady's got to be off her rocker. I am not the kind of person who is going to be a freaking coach, because it's intimidating, like being a new challenger and looking up to somebody like Amber or to Shauna or Audrey or Alicia, who have already these big followings and like know exactly what they're doing kind of thing. So like when you watch that, you're like, I don't know. And like at the time I was finishing my last semester of university, like my boyfriend and I were getting ready to move out. Like it was just a tough like time. So I was like, there's no freaking way. But eventually, I can't remember what it was, Amber, that I was finally like, oh, it was Kenzie. We were talking about it for weeks before Kenzie became a coach. And then she finally bit the bullet. And then as soon as I saw that she had the courage to jump in, I was like, all right, let's do it. And then Doug Ford extended the lockdown. So I took that as an opportunity to try it. And I texted Amber and I was like, like literally word for word, I said, Amber, I might be nuts, but I think that I'm going to try coaching. And then I said, I'm going to give it 1 month, and my month's actually almost over, but I said, I'm going to give it a month. And if I hate it, then I won't do it. And if I like it, then so be it. I'll keep going. And yeah, I'm pretty glad I did, because it's exciting and I like it. But I am nervous because obviously I'm heading into my first, I'm heading into my career as an RN here in like 2 weeks. So that's scary because I won't be home all day. But I was saying to Amber yesterday, like I was heading out of school thinking like, oh, I want to get a full-time job as an RN. Like this is going to be my thing. Like it's all I've ever dreamed of. But what I ended up actually getting and applying for in the end was a part-time position on the floor that I loved. And I ended up getting that job. So I said to Amber, like, it's got to be some sort of sign like that I need to be spending half my time in this and then half my time with my other passion, and kind of making them both work.
Love that. Thank you for sharing. Does anyone have any questions whatsoever, big or small? Just shout it out.
An open book.
No question. Just had to say, I've like been in a serious funk this last week, and I just was scrolling Facebook this morning. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna sleep in, take the weekend for me. And I saw Shelby's post being like, Mackenzie, coach call. I'm like, yeah, I'll jump on it. And oh my God, thank you, because this is like what I needed this morning. And you've actually had me like crying, laughing. Like I had to turn off my camera because I was laughing so hard at some of the things you said. So thank you, because like I know if I needed that this morning, I'm sure there's other people on this call that needed it too. So you're crushing it.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I was very nervous. Even asked Jamie last night. I thought about drinking at 9 a.m. this morning.
Anyone else?
No one has questions. I have a funny question. Me and Kenzie were on Zoom last night and we decided that we were going to end this Zoom with a funny question. So, Kenzie, what's your favorite snack? I think that's important. Like, I'm a huge fangirl, so I just want to know, like, what your favorite snack is.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't think you would actually ask me. What did I say last night that my favorite snack was? Oh, Doritos.
You told Doritos.
Nacho Doritos, the regular ones. Or I'm like really unleashing my inner health right now, but I enjoy the Chips Ahoy soft and chewy cookies. I don't like any other cookies. I won't eat any other cookies. Like the Chips Ahoy, the regular ones, I won't touch them, but I'll eat those little red ones. And then I also like goldfish crackers. Particularly the ones at the bottom of the bag that have soaked up all the salt.
Wow, great way to end the call, ladies. That was so awesome. Well, thanks, Mackenzie.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming on and being nervous and sharing your success. Awesome.
Oh, God. That was the best. What a good way to start our Saturday.
All right, I'll stop the recording.